Guys, I'm going to talk about churches. Now, what these guys did, Don Lemon and his crew, and you couldn't call it anything else, but what they did, everybody's lucky no one pulled out a gun. That none of this crowd that came onto private property took over the entire place, screaming their crap, scaring the heck out of everybody that was in the building. And I guarantee you there were some people who wanted to hurt them bad. Now, it's been about 25, 30 years ago, my daughter started going to a church, and her friends all went to the same church and everything, and she was telling us about it. I mean, my daughter and son are in their 40s today, folks. But she started going to a church over in Indiana, and all of her friends were coming out of this church and everything, and she talked me and my wife into going to the church and checking it out. So we did. And me and my wife started enjoying. We started going with them. Loved all the people that we were meeting. Had no problem with none of them. I didn't. Until. Now, this wasn't the first time I had something like this happen, but in my life with churches. But this guy he was a pastor that I think I was older than him, for sure. But he was always he was preaching right. He was doing it. He decided, he came in one day, and we're sitting there waiting for he's a pretty good preacher. And he starts telling us, I'm not going to eat no more food. I'm not eating no more food until you people start paying more money. You're not giving enough money to the church at this point, and I am not going to eat no more food until you people get this money coming in better. Minute I heard that, oh no, I was done. I didn't get a chance to tell him to his face, but I got up and walked the heck out of that church. And if you think you're going to tell me you're going to starve yourself to death because I'm not giving enough, or the rest of us aren't giving enough to you, starve yourself to death, son. You aren't in control. Never went back. Never went back to that church. You can watch them on every Sunday. They put their broadcast out online on all these different, this stuff you can watch online. You can watch his sermon still going on today. I'm not a part of that church anymore. Now I went to another church. People, and me and my wife were threatened at one time. There were some people that told me they were going to take me and my wife. They were going to make me watch them rape my wife. And then they were going to kill me in front of my wife. And then let her go. That's what we were told. in Greenwood, Indiana, by people I know and knew from high school. Now, these people didn't even stop there. They started putting it on our cell phones, leaving messages about what they were going to do to me and what they were going to do to my wife. Now, I've been carrying guns for years, folks. But in the state of Indiana, you have to have in order to carry concealed, you had to have a license, which I still don't understand, because the Second Amendment says, shall not be infringed. But it's been infringed by some states. Now, even in Arizona, you can carry out in the open all day, every day. But if you carry concealed, you had to have a license. It's a joke. But I took all these recordings of these guys threatening me and my wife and took them to the Greenwood Police Department. Told them who was in the video. Even when I played these videos or these recordings online, people even knew who it was just by their voice. Greenwood Police Department told, well, but there's nothing we can do about it. So because me and my wife actually lived on the south side of Indianapolis, I took these recordings threatening me and my wife and what they were going to do to us. And I went to Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, the corrupted bunch that they were at that time. Today, I don't know. They told me, after listening to the threats that had been made on me and my wife's lives, they told me, and I told them who it was. And they told me, well, if we went around arresting everybody who threatened somebody, everybody'd be in jail. And I said, you think these are just threats? They left them in the recordings on our answering machine and our cell phones. They are not just I'll kick your ass threat. So then, once I realized, folks, that the Greenwood Police Department was not going to help me, the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department was not going to help me. I went to my guns. I went to the Indiana State Police Department, filed for a lifetime license to carry open or carry weapons open or concealed, either one. Lifetime license. Paid the money for it. Did everything they wanted me to do for it. It's supposed to be 6 weeks. But because I'd done so many videos on the state of Indiana, their police department, the Greenwood Police Department and everything, it went from me getting my license handed to me from 6 weeks to 16 weeks. Now, by this time, my wife was so scared to even go out to go to the grocery store or anything like that. And I got in contact with what do they call that? The ATF, alcohol, firearms, and tobacco, whatever, and firearms, whatever. I got a hold of them, and I said, all right, well, you know what? I filed 10 weeks ago to get my to get my carry license for areas, or for Indiana, to get my license to carry in Indiana. And they're still messing with me. Is it illegal for me to carry a shotgun or a rifle wherever I go? ATF told me, no, there ain't. If you're carrying a long gun, there ain't no laws, federal laws against you carrying a long gun. People, I was carrying an AR-15 and at other times a 12 gauge shotgun inside my semi that I was driving. And get this, for the post office. These guys didn't know it. It was against federal law for me to have a weapon on the federal property. I had an AR-15 or a shotgun on their property inside my semi because I was trying to protect myself and my wife. Couldn't get my license because the government was screwing with me. I finally got it. Still have it. That was about 15, 20 years ago. Still carry it. Lifetime license to carry a weapon open or concealed. You can't take it from me. Actually, I really don't need it because the Constitution, and this is what I'm trying to get in your guys' head, the Constitution gives you that right. But these people, over my 60 plus years, have forced me to get their okie dokie on me carrying my weapons. And I did. Now they call me armed and dangerous. If they call him Watachi Running Free or my real name, it comes back armed and dangerous. That's the way it should be. Because I am armed with the Holy Bible. And I'm dangerous because Jesus is standing with me. Think I'm playing. God loves you guys. Let's hear you. I love you guys. Let's hear you. But I tell you what, these people walking into a church, you don't do it. I was armed guard at the last church I was with, and I scared people, an old woman one time, just by carrying my gun on my hip. And she wanted me removed from the church, and she had been with the church for so long that the church told me, I was part of security, folks, the security. I watched cameras. I was known for my hat and my gun on my head. One woman, one old woman, that she said I scared her when I walked by her and she saw my gun on my head. And they told her, he's a part of security. He still scares me. They told me I could not wear my gun back in that church. And I said, well, no problem. Because if my gun can't come in here, I'm not coming back in here. You guys ain't going to put me unarmed in your situations. And folks, I bet there wasn't a weapon in that church when there should have been. You tell me. If you got a church that's unarmed, you got a bunch of victims waiting to be victimized. Don't believe me? Watch it see.